Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to teach you how to read tarot cards and oracle cards together. And I was really inspired because my aunt got me this oracle deck. She sent it to me yesterday. It's called The Language of Flowers. I really love it. It meant a lot to me that she sent it to me because our religious beliefs and spiritual beliefs do differ, but she supports me. So she sent me this deck, and I was like, oh, that's a cute. I'll do this tarot and oracle card deck reading together and teach you how to do it. So reading tarot cards and oracle cards together is very common on YouTube. So most of the readers use oracle cards along with tarot cards, or they only use oracle cards because oracle cards are super fun. I actually have a video where I show you like all of my oracle decks and tarot decks. I'll link that video up here. It's super fun to get a bunch of decks with a bunch of different themes. Oracle decks are free form, which means that you can create whatever deck you want with as many cards, whatever theme you want, whatever messages that you feel inspired to share that you think would be good in a deck. That's an oracle deck versus tarot cards, which have a very, very long history to them. They're actually, the images are connected to the decans in an astrology chart. There's like little pieces of the pie around the chart that used to be associated with like spirits or guides, or we call them daemons, like good daemons, bad daemons. But there was like a spirit that was like guiding you when certain aspects like hit that point in the chart. And so it was associated with images and pictures, and that's where tarot cards come from. So the images and the themes are really old, and they're also it's very structured. So, you know, you have your four suits, you have the cups, the wands, the swords, and whatever else. Oh my God. And then you have the major arcana cards. And so every tarot deck, you can have a different theme even with tarot decks. Like there's probably like a Harry Potter tarot deck, like Alice in Wonderland. I don't know. You know, there's different tarot card decks with different themes. But like playing cards, they're all going to have the same amount of cards, the same suits. They're going to have a major arcana and a minor arcana. They're going to have 78 cards. Oracle decks, it's anybody's game. So you kind of have to look through the Oracle decks, see the reviews, see if you like them, versus if you're just getting the Rider-Waite deck, you can get the deck, you know, um, yada yada. But when it comes to reading cards, like you can read any cards. You don't need tarot cards particularly. You don't need oracle cards particularly. You don't need more than one deck. So lately, you might have noticed when I'm doing my weekly readings, I'm super minimalist. So I find that I read better if I just use one deck and I stick to that deck, because I do get a lot of messages from a card when it comes up. So if I use too many decks, too many cards, it's like having, you know, it's like having the TV on and my computer on and the radio on. I get so much information that I'm all over the place. So I like to keep it super simple, keeps my anxiety down. The lower your anxiety, the better your reading. But other readers like to use both, or use whatever decks they're inspired or called to read for that day. So most often what happens is you'll so readers do different things. So the way I'm going to do it today is, and I'm going to do a demo for you. So if I didn't mention it first, before I get into this part, at the end of this video, I'm going to do a demonstration for you, and I'm going to do it pick a card style where I read directly for you. And I'm just going to do a very general, like, what do you need to know right now type of reading. You can read any type of way in a pick a card reading. And when I do that, the way that I do it, but this is like, you could do it however you want, but I'm going to like pick some tarot cards. So say I have this like Nine of Swords here, and I might be like, you know, like you're worried about something, you have a lot of anxiety, you're trying to keep everything in place, you have a lot of ideas, a lot of excitement. What I might channel whatever I think this Nine of Swords means. But then I'm going to be like, a lot of people are like, well, is that really the message? I want to get more clarity. So people use the Oracle deck for clarity, because the messages tend to be super simple. Like this card deck it has one image on each card versus like a tarot deck where it's a whole picture where you see lots of symbols, lots of different images and pictures. And it will give me some clarity on the Nine of Swords. So say I want some clarity on like what I just said. Is any of that true? Like protection, conserve what little you have, save a little, right? So it's like you're burning the candle at too many ends, you're staying up too late at night, could be one of the messages. Um, like you're overextending yourself, right? So that gives so I'm interpreting that with this Nine of Swords. And so that's giving some clarity on like what that Nine of Swords means. It means the person is working too much versus it could, like another meaning could be a situation that they're worried about. There could be many meanings, but this card now just gave me a little more clarity to this. And you'll see that later for the pick a card reading. And I think this one is good to demonstrate. And if you want to see like how people use oracle decks, like with tarot decks or just even use oracle decks, really Google any YouTube reader. And a lot of times they'll even channel free form. So they'll take a bunch of decks and they'll just keep pulling cards as they're doing the message. And they'll put like, it's like 20, 30 cards on the table and they'll read that way. And if that style works for you, go ahead and read that way. For me, like I said, it's actually, I find I read better if I learn like one deck really well, like the Rider-Waite, and I sit with that deck and I use fewer cards and I just sit with that card and just channel everything I'm getting from that one card. I find that I read better keeping it like super simple, super low key. But you can do it how you want. So I'm going to demonstrate it. Also, if you're wondering, like I said, you can read whatever way you want. You're like, well, what does that mean? You can read whatever deck without learning the deck. You're just going to use your intuition to do that. And I have a video on that. It's called Read Your Tarot Cards Right Away. I'm going to link it here. That doesn't include oracle cards, but it applies to it. So even if you never picked up a tarot deck, you can use my advice in that video, pick up an oracle deck, give a pretty accurate reading with oracle cards. I first started reading with oracle cards and my readings were accurate. Surprisingly to me, I didn't realize that I did have like the gift of being able to channel for people. But I found that out real quick using my first oracle deck. I didn't even know what I was doing. And then people were coming to me like months and months later going, oh, wow, your reading was really good. It helped me make this big life decision. And I was like, whoa, okay, there's something to this stuff. So it was super cool. So before I get into the pick a card thing, I just want to introduce myself to people who haven't met me before I go on. My name is Valentine Lister. I'm a professional astrologer and tarot card reader. So on this channel, I do videos like this teaching tarot. Teaching like, how to do spreads is kind of my last series. Then I'm going to go into astrology. I'm going to do some mythology. If there's anything you want to learn about astrology or tarot, leave a comment below. Let me know. I also do readings for people, and if you want to know more about that and more about me, you can go to my website, valentinelister.com. Okay, so for this pick a card demonstration, like I said, this is just giving you information on what you need to know right now. This is super fun. So to pick, you're going to look at pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, and pile 4. You're just going to pick whichever pile that calls to you, that speaks to you, right? And don't overthink it, just pick. That's my advice. That's what I think works the best. You don't want to get your mind too involved. This is intuition time. Then after you've picked your pile, you're going to go down to the description box below where I have timestamps for pile 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I'm going to read for you. And it's going to be super fun. And then, if you do want to like look at the other readings just to get an idea of, just get more info on how I read, how it would compare, you can do that. But just let me read for you, pick for you what you need to know right now. And I will see you when I read for you. Okay, pile 1, super pumped to read for you. So let's see what the cards, what they say. What do you need to know right now? Well, you got some big changes going on my pile ones because we have these two major arcana cards right here. So, what's recently happened for you or has been happening is you've gone through a big transition. One that's hopeful, one that's like super positive. And I'm getting the sense of like it allows you to like breathe freer or like be freer and live life more according like to your principles, like to your principles of life, and just like more free and more open. Um, is definitely like what I'm getting. That this has been a good change, but it's definitely been a big one, not necessarily the easiest, and perhaps it's like leaving a situation that wasn't the greatest for you. Um, and I feel like it's kind of like now, like your mind is like in a jumble. Like I feel like you've been through a whirlwind and um, like you don't even know what to think. Sometimes when we go through a transition, big transition, like you may feel better, but I feel like for my pile ones, like you guys are feeling a little scatterbrained, a little bit all over the place. Maybe needing to take some private time to yourself and like I don't know, I just feel like there is like you've been through so much you can't even think anymore. um and that's like you're like, okay, I'm getting this message of like what next. So what's next for me because I've been through so much, I made this big change and now I'm just waiting, like what's next. And I think soon, right, what I'm seeing for you in the future is that you will know what to do. Like, I think that I think you'll feel revitalized again and you'll feel clear again, like within yourself. And I think there's some things that, you're going to need to acknowledge in the future. And I think the nice part about that, like what you're going to need to acknowledge is how far you've come, how much you've been through, how you fought the good fight, and you made a good decision. I think that with this transition, whatever transition that you had to make, you made a good decision. And you should feel good about that. And you're gonna realize that, and you're gonna realize like how much stronger you are, how far you've come, and how much more like revitalized and alive. Like I see this yellow just like popping out. I'm just getting like this sun energy, this bright, shiny, um, like this bright, shiny sun that's just like enveloping you. And you're just feeling happy again and like feeling childlike again and playful. So whatever you left behind, it was like weighing you down, and now you're feeling free again. So I'm gonna get some more clarity. So we have listeria now. Wisteria, longevity, plan for and take the dedicated path. Okay. And then the next oracle card we have is peony, health, focus on all parts to make a whole. Okay, tuberose, desire, be certain where you place your passion. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, so I mean, definitely, like, I definitely can sense, for pile ones that there was a big transition that you made. And it was like, okay, well, what do I want for my life long term? And also, it's a spiritual path, right? So dedicating yourself to some kind of, some spiritual modality and really making a big shift and a change. So maybe some education or learning, as far as like a healing modality or spiritual practice, really dedicating yourself to spiritual practice and making some big life changes. But I think, I am getting that it has been a big shift for you. And there, like I said, there is, a need to take some downtime and to take care of your health. Because I feel like, I don't know, I feel like I feel like your mind is like all over the place. Like I can't really get a clear picture right now of like where you're at. And I think that's just from like mental exhaustion. Just like trying to figure too many things out. Like when we're learning something, like we're trying to absorb like so much information that, you know, like our mind starts to get all jumbled and we can't really get, like we can't get clarity. So I think there is a time to take a break. I feel like for my pile ones, if you guys don't step back and take a break, that, um, that your mind will suffer, but your health does end up suffering. Like maybe you're staying up too late at night or, like, burning the candles at both ends or, just pushing your body too hard. And so, like even if we're in a field where we're like taking care of our body or our spirituality or mind or health, sometimes like we go too far. Like, you know, we're like we have to be like so dedicated that, we forget all of our humanly needs and wants. That's like the energy I'm getting from my pile ones. And you can't forget about your body. You can't forget about being grounded. Just taking time to relax, do what you want to do, be like a regular person. Don't think about the spiritual path too much. Just like chill out. Yeah, I think your mind is fine. Like how you're thinking. I just think that you need to like give it a break because it's like too jumbled up. Like take a break from studying or learning or um like pursuing whatever it is. Like just take a vacation, like take a break, take a breather, whatever that is for you, whatever you can do, whatever you can swing. Um, okay. Also, like I'm seeing in the future that there may be some adjustments to this path that you're making. We've got tuberous desire, be certain of where you place your passion. And I do think sometimes we throw ourselves so much in the spiritual path, like we learn a technique or a practice, or we have a teacher. So I'm definitely seeing like this may be a teacher, a spiritual teacher, or a mentor. And it might not be spirituality, it might be another like path you guys have taken. But sometimes we place too much of our faith in this person because they're a person, right? Or we place too much into like, okay, if we do X, Y, and Z spiritual practice or health practice or whatever it is to improve our life, if we take these steps, things are going to work out and we can totally trust the practice. We can trust the teacher. We can trust our mentor or whoever is leading us and guiding us. And I think that you might be placing too much faith in whatever this is, or be it a person or a practice. Um, because, like, so say it's a teacher, they're human. They have flaws and faults, and they're not necessarily going to see everything like accurately. Like they have their own issues. Everybody has their own hurts, their own scars from life, own traumas, and all of us can like make mistakes. Um, and so be careful not to like throw yourself so much into whatever change it is that you're not like have a healthy sense of skepticism in whatever you're doing. And I feel like that's going to be for my pile ones that might be hard because like you're so into what you're doing, you're so dedicated. And this is not taking away any of this dedication, but it is giving you a healthy view of what's happening so that you can get better at what you want to do. Just recognize that um there are flaws in everybody and there's strengths in everybody. And so, okay, so an example I'm thinking of, like, so say in the scientific community, right? We have researchers and they research different topics. And um, every research article, like scientific, peer reviewed article, is going to tell you the drawbacks of the study. Like they're going to do a study, right? And they're going to tell you the limitations of their study. What didn't they do? Where could you find flaws in what they studied? Like what was help? They're going to write what the strength is, why it's important, what they researched, how it was helpful, what they found. But they're also going to put limitations on that article. And that's so you have a realistic view of what that research paper is telling you. It's so it inspires you to ask more questions. That's advice for my pile ones. Ask more questions, right? Because then you can find out more important information. So that's how science works. That's how research works. People ask a question, they try to find the answer, but then they leave it open for people to ask more questions, to do more research studies, to be curious and playful. And I think curiosity and playfulness is really important for my pile ones because I do think you're going to end up seeing something about like this practice or this person, and you're going to be like, and you're going to see like, I don't know if I really believe that. I don't know if I really jive with that. I don't know if I really want to do it that way. And I encourage you guys to be curious, to ask questions, and to think about how do you want to do it? How you decide to pursue your passion, like, is important. What you have to contribute to your practice is super important. So that's the message I have for my pile ones. I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. If you did, make sure to like, subscribe, and share it out to other people. All right, I love you guys so much, and I will see you soon. Okay, for my pile twos, super pumped to read for you. So this is just going to be what you need to know right now. So let's see what we have here. All right, all right. My ideas, people, new ideas. Ooh, this is looking good. So far, I'm getting some good energy from my pile twos. Yeah, I think you guys are making some kind of dream happen, right? You have an idea for something. We have the Ace of Swords. It's super exciting. I feel like this is super exciting for my pile twos. I'm getting like really pumped and really just this like positive energy from my pile twos. And you're like, wait, it hasn't happened yet. I don't know, right? Because I think right now you're in the planning stages of whatever is happening. And um, yeah, I think you guys are reflecting just on like the practical planning of what you guys are doing, like what you guys like you had an idea and you're just like doing I think some research now on like whatever it is that you're trying to plan out, or whatever idea like you're trying to see like is this practical, like can I actually do something with this, like you don't want to jump into it too fast. And I think that's great for my pile twos. You're doing a good job. Take your time to reflect on how you want to like implement this idea and follow this idea and really ground it into practicality. So I'm seeing this like super exciting idea that you guys like wanted to implement, and then now like you're taking the time to just um see like how to ground it, like how to ground it in reality. And I'm seeing for the future this is going to be like really exciting, whatever like little seed that was planted, whatever idea. It's super exciting, like this is leading to like your dream life, like something really exciting in the future. Like that's exciting. So let's get more clarity on what's happening for you guys with these oracle cards. So with oracle cards, you just bring them in and keep reading, keep going, right? And so oracle cards are going to be a little different. Okay, so we got Tiger Lily Security. Interesting. Choose the safe harbor for now. Then we have Orange Blossom Enthusiasm. The best can be here. Believe it. Ooh, and then we have Sunflower Assertiveness. Rise up, stand stronger, and true. Hmm. Interesting, right? Okay. Yeah. So I think that the idea that you had, yeah, I think you're taking your time with it. I think you guys are being cautious. Like I got like the sense like I'm super excited for you guys, but I'm feeling like pile twos are like, hold on, I'm not sure if this is gonna work out. It's just an idea. And so you guys are like taking your time in implementing this. So I'm getting that like sense of security is more about like your approach um to the situation. But it is super exciting, and I think it's something um it's like whatever idea you had, it's something that's going to bring you guys joy. something that you want to bring you joy. So there was like this little hope, this little optimism. And I think there's a part of my pile twos where it's like, oh, I can't really do this. Like this is, I don't know if this is even practical that I can do this, but do it. Okay. Like, because I'm seeing that whatever dream you had, whatever idea that like popped into your head that you were super passionate about, super inspired about, that like lit your heart on fire, that is going to lead to some sunny days. We have the sunflower, we have this 10 of cups card. Yeah, and I don't think you're deceiving yourself, right? I don't think that like I don't think that you need to be pessimistic about it, I guess is the word. I don't know. Like you can hope again. I think sometimes like life smacks us down and we stop, like we give up on our dreams and we're like we have to be realistic. We have to have a realistic plan to follow things through. But I think for my policies, you guys are doing that. And so that's the best way to create a dream, right? Take your time, look for signs, like look for little avenues where you can try this dream out. Yeah. And I think like, it may be a dream that you had. Yeah, I'm thinking in terms of, so it could be, I'm getting like a couple of different things. Like it could be like, like spiritual practice, right? So maybe we have some readers here, or people who want to be astrologers, or there's some type of spiritual practice or healing modality that you want to get involved in, but you're like, can I really do this? Like, is this even practical to do? Am I going to get support? And I think you guys will in the long term, but I think you're wise to be cautious right now. And I'm also getting for some people, it might be even like a creativity. Like there's some type of creativity. There's something, okay, like I think there is a connection to this dream that you always wanted to do as a child. Like there's some, and I'm getting more career. I'm not getting as much relationship, although that always plays a part, right? We always want to know about our relationships, our loved ones, right? So that'll come into play. And I feel like, um, even that relationship part that I just like threw in there, I feel like that does come into play. Like when we're in a place of joy and we're doing something that we love, naturally, like love comes into our life in like many, many forms, right? And that's many forms. It could be a romantic relationship. It could be, for some of you, if you want children, even pets, or friends, like just being surrounded by love. And that's what I see coming for you guys, pile two. And but I'm seeing this connected to like a career dream more so than a relationship. Or it's just like something that it's your calling, something you've always been inspired to do. And I think for my pile twos, you guys saw an opportunity to do that, um, to start this new thing. And I don't know what the thing is exactly because it's, that varies. But like I said, could be creativity, spirituality, but it's like I feel like there's an endless possibilities of what this thing could be for my pile twos because it was your childhood dream. So I'm like, it could be going somewhere or living somewhere abroad, um, like and having a new home or something. Like, um, yeah, it's a childhood dream that I think you guys put to bed. You guys are super practical, and you're like, no, not possible. Not gonna, it's not gonna happen, right? I gotta grow up. I gotta like be a grown up and, think practically. Um, but then your heart came back, your desire came back, for what you wanted. And I think right now, because you were thinking practically and like an adult, you have the ability now to make that dream happen and to look into like whatever steps that you need to take. And do it slowly, like over time. I don't think you have to go super slow, right? But I think you guys are going to take your time, right? You're taking your time to see, like, can this thing really happen? And I think it can. I mean, I think right here, right? We have the best can be here, believe it. So believe in that inspiration you have, that dream you have, that's related to that childhood dream. And I think go for it. I think, yes, you can take your time, right? To plan. Like you've got security. You can take your time to plan, right? Um, but this is all about also standing up for yourself and even if people think you're crazy, doing it anyway. like whatever that dream is, going for it anyway, because you've got this life. It's your life. Ultimately, it's yours. It really doesn't matter what other people think. It doesn't matter what other people say about your dream, unless they have some direct experience where they could give you some actual like career guidance or guidance on traveling or living like a new and neat lifestyle, right? There's people that can give you practical advice because they have some experience. But even there, you have to trust your own intuition about what to do. And you have to follow your heart. You have to follow your joy. I feel like the biggest message for my pile twos is follow your heart, follow your joy in this situation. Like, that feeling, like literally in your chest, it lights up. And like, you think of like the sun card. This is not the sun card, right? But the sun card, when you think of the sun, we have a lot of sun energy, orange and sunflowers related to the sun, your soul, the child in you. Like, you have your arms raised up and you're like, yes, I'm here. Life is amazing. This is me, right? The things that bring that out of you, the joyfulness, the playfulness, that's how you know you're going in the right direction. And that is your security. When you feel things that give you genuine peace and joy, not that are just fun, right? We can have fun with a lot of toxic people, right? Or bad situations, but things that make you feel safe, that make you feel lit up and joyful and childlike and playful, that's how you know you're going in the right direction with whatever this idea is. And believe in yourself, believe in your dreams. All right, pile two, that's the message I have for you guys. If you like this message, oh no, okay, I'm sorry, this was all like, I'm not going to redo the reading, but sorry that this was all blanked out. See the orange blossom here. I was reading it for you guys. But anyway, if you like this, make sure to like, subscribe, share it out. And I love you guys. I'll see you real soon. All right, pile three, super pumped to read for you guys. So this is what you guys need to know right now. Okay, pile three is you guys have been having some fun. Some fun maybe in the sun. Okay, because we got this Nine of Cups energy. Really like seeing like for my pile threes, you guys have been having lots and lots of fun. And now there's somebody saying like, okay, like you got to deal with reality. So, maybe it's been all fun and games, and now you have to deal with a person who's like, okay, but there's a situation we need to deal with. We need to talk about things. We need to deal with things, all right? Like, you got to grow up, all right? So maybe for my pile threes, you have somebody like, was it Harshing Your Mellow from Clueless in the 90s? Like, but just like raining on your parade, ruining the party, right? Someone who's like, you got to be serious, and you're like, nah, I just want to like play around, have some fun, be out with my friends, go out partying, go out for drinks, like just living it up, living life. Um I feel like you guys have been having an awesome time, pile three. You've been feeling this Jupiter and Pisces energy. Well, this is timeless, but right now Jupiter and Venus and Pisces. And right now you have someone in your life who's like, you know, you have responsibilities to think about. Maybe some of you guys have children, like maybe, but some of like for a lot of but yeah, I think somebody is calling on you. Just like a mature female energy, like responsible, like feminine woman or energy type person, who's like, grow up, you have to make decisions. I think this person is asking you to make changes in your life, and to look at the bigger picture. And I just think let's see. Yeah, and so actually no, I think maybe in the past like you've resisted that, like growing up, you're like, whatever, I just want to have fun, you know. Um in like whatever, just whatever's been happening with you. Like there's, you know, yeah, there's just been this childlikeness and playfulness, but I think now like I do see in the future for you like a new start with perhaps like thinking about things more, like reflecting on things more, not getting so lost in the feel of things and the emotions, not like emotions in a bad way, but yeah, getting so lost in playfulness, fun, and like the here and now. And it's like, I think in the future, you are going to start reflecting more on your actions, and really thinking things through more, and just like looking before you leap, like being more objective. So let's get more clarity on what's going on. Okay, so let's see if we can see these cards. In the last reading, I totally like you couldn't see them and I messed it up. I'm sorry guys, but this one we're gonna do it. I'm gonna do it right. Gonna do it right. Okay, so we have anemone, the flower anemone, optimism, look up and look brightly. We have agapanthus, words of love, speak with your heart. And then zinnia, we have absence. What is not here is the key. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so yeah, I'm getting for my pile three is that you guys have been feeling good. You have been feeling super optimistic, but I do feel like there's a part of that. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, baby. I'm this Queen of Swords. I'm like, you guys gotta grow up. Sorry, but like I think there is, some elements of it when you're having a good time, like you have been maybe neglecting some responsibilities, not thinking about tomorrow, just living life for the moment. I think that's awesome. I don't have a problem with it, but I think, there is a point where it's like you have to have some type of balance. I think that's what's calling for in the future, like some type of balance, right? Because um we do have responsibilities. We have to take care of our physical bodies, but we also have responsibilities um, in our life. And I'm getting that maybe there's a rift, perhaps, like with this person that's got words for you, this like lady who is in your life, or people you see, just examples of. Like, could be an actual person in your life, like Queen of Swords, and somebody perhaps that you're separated from because there's an absence here, right? So maybe there's somebody that you've been estranged from or separated from. Maybe there's been a breakup. And yeah, that person is asking you to just be more responsible, but maybe it is their absence that's helping you to be more responsible. Um, like what's here is not the key. What is not here is the key, is like sticking out to me. Words of love, speak with your heart. I think also um, yeah. I think there's a person in your life. This person is not trying to just bring you down, right? That's not what it is. Like they are asking you to really deal with situations and sit with yourself and like get to the core of the situation and deal with the situation. Um, because I think a lot of times if we're in party mode and we're like separated from a situation, like, we're like having fun, sometimes like that is avoiding things because we have a certain amount of pain. And so even though we have optimism there, it's like look up and look brightly. It's like don't look down. It reminds me of like Sia chandelier. I'm swinging from the chandelier. I'm not, and she's like up there, not coming down, right? Because she's drinking. Her song is about like drinking all night. The chandelier, like Sia song, right? And it's like so I never have to come down because I'm always like intoxicated, or I'm always going out with my friends, or having a good time, or maybe I'm home like Netflix and binging, or I'm on YouTube, or whatever it is, right? And I'm just going to look at this optimistic side, but I'm never like dealing with the pain that's probably down there, right? Down somewhere, right? Down here, yeah, I don't know where, right? But there's pain, right? When we come down, if we have to deal with reality. And so it also gives me the sense of like sometimes, like, in the spiritual community, there's like spiritual bypassing, right? We could just think our way out of anything, and it's just the way we think about it. Um, and that never really works, I don't think, because a lot of times it's like that power of the positive thinking, or even if it's law of attraction. And I'm just speaking about the way that people use the practices. I'm not, to be honest, those aren't practices that I mean, I've dabbled in them, but I'm not like, I wouldn't say they are my spiritual practices. I like things that are super grounding, and because I tend to be out there. But so, um, like if you have pain, you need to acknowledge it, let it come up, let it release, but you can't deny that it's there. Because there's something about, like in my experience and from what I've seen, there's something about denying that that pain is there and not dealing with it and trying to float past it, that um, it tends to like be a problem, and that problem tends to grow when you try to ignore it. Um, so I mean, it's kind of like, if your washer breaks and, well, you don't get it fixed, right? And then you have like water like pouring down on your floor, and then your floor starts rotting, and then maybe you have like animals come in there and the house starts falling apart. It's like that kind of thing of like, if you don't deal with um like emotions or pain, it tends to like fester and grow. I don't know why things are like that. Like, I wish I could just think positive and all my problems are gone. But I think probably part of it is that this life is about looking at that pain and sitting with it, letting it come up, you know, and dealing with it and releasing it, moving on, right? If you get your, in that example, if you get your washer fixed, you could just move on with your life. You dealt with the problem, but didn't take as long, didn't cause as many problems, and you're just able to move on. Like, I got my washer fixed, no big deal. That's the same for the hurts and the pains in your life. That's the same for the traumas, you know? I mean, that takes longer. That takes longer to work on, like, yeah, definitely. However, if you start dealing with it, letting it come up, sitting with the pain, um, figuring out how to sit with it, be and just be with it, let it come up, learning like how to heal from it. And I think a lot of it is just being aware, letting it come up, not trying to like do something about it. Just being like, okay, I'm a human being. This is some of the energy it takes in humanity. Like, we've experienced physical and emotional pain, and just being able to deal with it. And if we can't, finding healers that can really help us. But my caveat, I do feel strongly about, like, when you find a healer, that they have to be super grounded. They have to acknowledge your feelings. Like, if they tell you to correct your language, if they tell you to like stop thinking negatively, or like things like that, or like it isn't real, like this is a simulation, it isn't real. If they say crap like that, just move on to someone else, okay? You need people that acknowledge it, that can sit there with you, have empathy for your situation, validate your situation, that it was painful, that it was hard, and then people who gently lead you um, to the next step of that process where you're able to move on and, figure out how to move forward from that situation. Um, yeah, and so I think also, like, a lot of times, like, speak with your heart, like, we have the throat chakra here going on. So maybe there is like an addiction, or drinking too much, or, it could be even like to food or to technology, could sometimes people have sex addictions, like all kinds of things, right? And that blocks our throat chakra. I'm seeing so much blue, and it's like, you got to let your words out. You have to be able to speak, right? We have the Queen of Swords and the Two of Swords. We have that swords energy when we've had this emotional energy, this cup energy, and it does feel good being lost in your emotions, whether they feel bad or good, but there's something blocking your voice and your ability to speak. And I think sometimes I think, there may have been a loss of a relationship or a connection, or, something important to you, that's not here anymore, because you've been avoiding the problem. That washer has now rotted the floor, right? You've lost a person, perhaps, or have a rift in your relationship, or having an argument with the person. And so it's a time to find your voice, find who you are, but you have to strip off those layers, and come down to the ground and deal with the pain of reality. And that has a pleasure of its own, if you're willing to look at it and see it. All right, that's all I have for my pile threes. I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. And if you did, make sure to like, subscribe, and share this out. All right, love you guys. See you real soon. All right, pile four, super pumped to read for you to let you know what you need to know right now. Are you guys tired? I'm feeling a tiredness with my pile fours. Like, I was like, maybe it's just me, but I see this hermit here. And I think you guys might be a little tired because you guys are trying to do things on your own, um, be independent, work too hard, make things work out um, with other people, with your finances, being able to provide for yourself financially, work. I think you guys are probably taking on too much and um but I'm seeing you guys have goals, but I think yeah, I think I'm seeing like vitality come, like a resurgence of energy in the future. Um, but I'm definitely seeing determination in my pile fours, but um, yeah, you guys might be overdoing it, but maybe you don't care because you're like, I'm in it to win it, you know? All right. Yeah, I'm seeing that hermit energy. I'm seeing in the past, like, there's definitely this energy of like you've had to rely on yourself because you couldn't trust the people that were around you or are around you. Like you can't rely on them, so you can rely on yourself, your own wits, your own intelligence. Like there's a lot of Virgo energy, and so that is like that's the energy of wittiness and like figuring out how to do things and plan things and actually how to make magic out of your physical resources, maybe not having a lot of resources, not having a lot of support, but having to make the most of what little you have, right? And so you learn to be independent and yeah, to rely on yourself. I feel like a lot of you are self-taught, like learned a lot of things on like how to do life from like the internet or TV, or resources or books. Like there's a lot of learning and craftiness like on your own. Um, yeah, and I'm just seeing my for my pile fours, there's this like fierce independence. I'm gonna get more clarity. I mean, I do see things working out for you, but I just yeah, I just want to see like I don't know, I just like want to give you guys a big hug. Like, should I say that? Should I not? I want to give you guys a big hug. Like, I feel like someone needs to come and help you guys out so you don't have to like bear the weight of everything. Yeah, compassion. That's what I was saying. I want to give you guys a big hug. That's the word I was looking for. I think you guys like need more compassion. Let me make sure you can see these cards because they're like kind of shiny under the lights. Yeah, I'm definitely seeing like I would think you guys need more compassion. Um, not like I'm not saying like you need to be compassionate. Like I think you guys need compassion for you guys. Um, yeah, okay. So the cards we have here, we have pitcher plant, insight. The answers are there for those who look. Heart, heart's ease, flower, cool. That was compassion, tread a little more tenderly. And red rose, courage. Be brave, be strong, believe. Um, yeah, I do feel a sense of sadness, like when bringing up that compassion. Because I feel like for my pile fours, you guys know you need somebody to be compassionate, somebody to hold you, somebody to protect you, love you, take care of things, ease the burdens off of you. And I completely agree. And I wish I could be there for you guys right now and like help you out, like roll up my sleeves and be like, okay, what do we need to do? And so I'm feeling like for my pile fours, um, like needing more support. And so maybe I'm thinking even in the future, what you need to know is to open your network of support from other people. And I think really putting yourself out there more with people. And I completely understand if you don't, like, if you're not trusting of people right now. Um, if you don't want to rely on other people because they let you down. So I completely get that. Um, but I'm still getting like there is a need to um, go to where you fear, go to what you're afraid of, right? And so if we're afraid of people, you got to be around people. Like, so I used to work with people as a counselor in my past life. Now, and like, years ago, worked in mental health, and I worked with people who were in motor vehicle injuries or other types of injuries, and they had phobias or they had fears around, um, it could be, I mean, random things, right? You're in a car accident, you're afraid to get in a car again, right? And guess what? The only real treatment for that, the only thing that works is to get in a car and drive again. Like, and seriously, my clients who got in the car, drove again, were active in their recovery, they got better. They got over their fear. People who avoided cars, driving, people, they did not get well. And so it's about, for my pile fours, facing your fears, but not to just add to your list, but to find people who are healthy, who are supportive of you, who can come help you out. And I think it will help a lot with your healing. I am seeing that. Yeah, it will help a lot with your healing. I'm thinking even travel might be something that would be helpful for you. Just expanding your perspective and like how people are, how people think. I mean, sometimes we're around people who may be super negative or super draining. Um, kind of like take too much. Um, and sometimes we have to get away from the people that we usually hang around and like try a new group. And yeah, I don't think, like I think, well, I think you guys are so brave. Like I think you could handle this. Um, and I think there's an element where you're ready. Like you're ready to put yourself out there and connect with other people. And I think like I think it's like finding people who are compassionate. And that's by weeding out, like, okay, you have the garden right here, right? You could weed out people. You can do that, right? Super intuitive. I'm seeing all this yellow. Like, you've come this far. You're super strong. You're super brave. Like, you know what to do, right? You've had to rely on yourself so long. And so you have this wisdom, but other people are doubting it. Um, and so you find those compassionate people by putting yourself out there, finding a group, find a hobby, an activity, go out, say hello to people if you're afraid. Go out, meet people, find people, right? Get to know people. And then we weed out, right? So there's the people who are not compassionate. There's the people who suck, okay? They're going to make you doubt yourself. Um, they're going to argue with you over nothing and they don't even know you. um, they are going, they're gonna just like question you or not support you or be like, you're too much like this, you're too negative, you're too out there, you're too assertive, whatever it is, right? If you hear that, get those people out of your life. Cut them out. Cut them out. I'm serious. As you're making friends, I'm just, giving you guidance for this friend process, moving forward to find people who are super compassionate, right? Get those people out. It's not that people can't disagree with us, but there is an element of like people need to be supportive, right? And so people who are supportive are going to support you. They are going to encourage you. They're going to tell you what an awesome person you are, not because of anything you've changed, right? But because they see your qualities, right? Like maybe you're quiet, maybe you're reflective, maybe you're serious. And the people who support you are gonna go, I really love that about you. I really love, and that can break your worldview of you can't rely on people, you can't trust people, because there's so many people on earth, right? And the people that you're supposed to be with are the people who love you the way that you are, not the way that you want to be, but the way that you are. The people who love you like that and who encourage you and support you like that are your true friends. And I'm just getting the sense that like you are able, um, well, you are able to branch out. Like you're going to be able to branch out and make new friends. You don't have to do it, you know, all alone. And, there are some supportive groups uh, like, so what's coming to mind is like Al Anon for some of you, like if, I've had dealt with people with substance abuse issues, like things like that. Um, that just, I don't know, that just came to my head. That might be helpful for some of you. Um, Going into different like places, spiritual groups, healing modalities, but yeah, just I think it's just branching out and making the effort to make new people, and you'll know what to do. I feel like you guys will know what to do. You got this hermit energy, my pile four is like, like the steps to make to put yourself out there, because I think you guys know what you're avoiding too. And you're okay as you are. I feel like that's a big message for my pile fours. You guys are okay as you are. You don't have to be something else, right? We just have to get, healthier people around us, and healthier people are just going to support and encourage us as we are. And I think you're also willing to do the work to be healthy yourself, is what I'm getting from pile fours, right? Because if we want healthier people in our life, um, we definitely have to be healthy for ourselves. We have to have compassion for ourselves. We have to be reliable, dependable. We don't have to be perfect, right? But we have to be compassionate towards people ourselves, right? So if you want more compassionate people, then have people around you that bring out the compassion in you. Like you see them and you admire them and you love them the way they are. Um, and you support and encourage them, right? So but I just think for my pile fours, you already get this, that, you know, like, and I think you do guys give a lot of this, like you get what you give. And I think you guys are willing to give. I think you guys have a good head on your shoulders. Um, and I think it's just about supporting, expanding your network, expanding yourself out of your comfort zone, and finding people who support and encourage you. And yes, that does take courage. You need to be strong to like put yourself out there. But I think you're going to reap the rewards, and I think you guys are brave enough. All right, that's the message I have for my pile fours. I love you guys so much. My heart is so with you. Um, and if you like this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and share it out to other people. And I'll see you guys real soon.